Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another painting time-lapse video for you all, and we're going to talk about the character Taravangian. So remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's begin. So, before we get started, I want to say spoiler warning for all of the Stormlight Archive so far. In this video, I want to talk about the character of Taravangian. So, Taravangian is the king of Kharbranth and Yakaved, and he is a incredibly interesting and complex character. For the majority of King Taravangian's rule, he's been considered to be a bit dim-witted. A lot of people around him think that his mind's a little slow or that something happened at birth and it caused him to just never have the mental capacity that other people around him would. But it's implied that he's always been very intelligent, but he's always played this role in order to have people underestimate him so that he can move more swiftly through the shadows. And that came to fruition in very clear relief when we saw how he took down all the monarchs of Yakaved and Kharbranth and all of that area and stuff, and basically made himself king of two kingdoms, and all through having to do nothing himself, basically just through assassinations and creating conflict between other people. So it's kind of brilliant. And even though he wasn't a member of the Sons of Honor, he was a good friend of King Gavilar Kholin, and through their conversations, because Gavilar shared with Taravangian that he was having these visions sent by the Stormfather, he decided to go to the Night Watcher to ask for the capacity to basically do something about this great evil, this great terrible situation that's on the horizon that's been hinted at through Gavilar's visions. So the boon and the curse is the way it's done with the Night Watcher. And the boon and curse that Taravangian received was alternating days of hyper-intelligence and hyper-compassion. So one day he can be smarter than the smartest person that's ever been, and then the next day he'll be kind of dumb but like crying in the corner over every little wrong thing he's ever done. And on I believe what had to have been either the first day or one of the first days after he got the boon and the curse situation placed on him, he had a day of supreme intelligence, and he was able to devise the diagram itself. And he, just through conjecture and assumption and just logical thinking, really, he unfolded all the potentials of these different situations that was going on in the world, and he made essentially a Bible. He made a text that was completely predictive of a lot of things that would happen, and it helped lay out his plan to take over his region of Roshar and to become king, because his ultimate plan was to outsmart Odium, a god of hatred and emotion and passion. And this goal was so immense, and it was so all-encompassing and such a hard task to accomplish that Taravangian was willing to do any and everything to accomplish it. No matter who had to die, no matter how many nations had to fall, if it resulted in the situation that he foresaw in the diagram that would lead to them surviving, or the most people surviving, he was willing to do it. There is no cost too high for this person. So Taravangian is a really interesting character. I think he is such a interesting foil for someone like Dalinar, who is shown to be basically storybook honorable. And even though we've seen like he hasn't been honorable, he has a great development and a great story arc. But compared to Taravangian, he's just like a very classic honorable knight type character. And Taravangian is just so willing to do anything for the greater good, really. It's like he literally, as I said before, no matter how many bodies have to pile up, if it's for what he sees as a greater goal, then he's willing to do it, because he believes a monarch, a king, has to be willing to put all that guilt and all that evil on them for the greater good. So that sentiment is completely is noble in a lot of ways. Like, you can completely sympathize with it and understand it conceptually, but when it comes down to the actual actions and the things that this mindset causes a person to do, you start to realize, oh, this is kind of messed up. And Taravangian is basically the personification of that. And along with this capacity, he developed a level of arrogance, I believe, because to think that you're able to actually outsmart a god based on human level intelligence, that's kind of being presumptuous. Even though Taravangian actually does do that later to a degree, but it's not really outsmarting. It's out emotioning him. So when Taravangian's plan to manipulate Odium actually falls apart, he becomes one of the he's forced to ally himself with Odium in order to be able to save at least one city worth of people. So he basically took the deal that he was able to get, understanding that he failed and everything, and that he was just going to be used as a pawn and thrown away. Even during that time, with all his heightened emotions and stuff, he was still able to scheme and plan in a lot of ways. To me, in the story, it feels a little bit like he kind of fell into the events that happened, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that his smarter self had this plan almost exactly as it played out, but he wasn't able to recall it during his more compassionate and empathetic moments. So the plan that ultimately comes to fruition is he manages to get Szeth with Nightblood into one location to kill him, to come and literally kill him, as Szeth does kill him, but it's at the same time that he starts up a vision with Odium. So he somehow or another, he knew that this was possible. I still don't understand how he knew it was possible, but he pulled in Nightblood into the vision and killed Race, the holder of Odium, the shard, and ascended to become Taravodium. So now Taravangian is the avatar of the shard Odium. I think Taravangian is a very interesting character, and I think he's going to turn out to be one of the greatest villains in the Cosmere, going up against Dalinar, because I believe that this dynamic is going to go further than Book 5. So I'm really hoping I'm right about that. So I really hope you all like my painting and really enjoyed the video of my character interpretation and breakdown of Taravangian, aka Taravodium. So let me know what you thought about the painting in the comments down below, and follow me on Instagram to check out some more of my art. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk to you all next time. Peace.